Hi everyone, welcome back to another tutorial of the machine learning, and in this video we will learn how to find the missing values in our dataset that we need for our machine learning model. So first of all, I am in our Excel file, which is the loan status of our applicant, that he or she is taking loan or not. As you can see in the loan status, there is Y, which means yes, and there is a N, which means not. So we have to find the missing values or the null values in our data set. As you can see, in loan amount I have an empty row, uh, row number 2 and column number I, which means it is a null value. So machine learning will not read this null value, or if or if it can read this null value, then it will not help us to make the perfect decision or the good decision. And also in the dependents column, there is a 3 plus, which means that it is not a numerical value, it is an object value. So for our machine learning model we need only numerical value, because our machine learning model only read numerical value. And there is also an empty row in this loan amount term, also an empty row in F. We will also convert in our upcoming videos these object values into the numerical values. So first of all, let's move forward to the Jupyter notebook and start working with these and find the missing values in our dataset. So I am currently in my Jupyter notebook. I will create the new file. Okay, it is loading. So first of all, we have to import our libraries. Import and the pandas library is just for working with the dataset, and we will also import seaborn for our graph, and import matplotlib for our graphs. And then I will press shift and enter, and it will load. So we have to import our dataset here. pd dot read underscore csv, and what is our file name? C loan.csv. Loan.csv. Okay, so it is loading our dataset. Okay, our dataset is loaded. So we have, let's see, dataset, first three rows and all columns. Dataset dot head. Okay. Also, here is our dataset is loaded. So this is our dataset. As you can see, in loan amount, there is a null value. In our Excel file, there is a loan amount. This is a null value. So we have to find all the null values in our data set, and on that basis, we will see that we have to work with this data set or not. So first of all, find the null values in all the data set. Data set dot is null dot sum. It will, you can see. Okay, first of all, I will load it. So it is loading. Okay, it is loaded. So you can see that in load ID there is no null value. In gender there are 13 null values. In merit there are 3 null values. In dependents 15. In education 0. Self-employed 32. And loan amount 22. Loan amount 14. Credit history 15. So these are the null values in all the columns. In gender there are 13 null values. This is all in all the columns. We can see the null values, amount of the null values. Let's let's move forward and find the null values in the whole dataset. So first of all, we need to see the shape of the dataset. It will give us the rows and the columns of the dataset. Eh, okay, 6, 14 rows and 13 columns. So total values 13, 709.82. Okay, and we will see how many null values are present in our dataset. Dot sum dot sum. Okay. So out of 7,982, there are 149 null values. Okay, we also need to find out the percentage of the null values in our data set so that we will make a decision. If the percentage is greater than 50%, then we will not work with that data set because 50% of our data set is null values, and how our model will predict the best values or will give us the best result. So let us find data set dot is null dot sum. So these are and divided by dataset dot shape shape zeros and multiply by 100. It will give us the percentage of the null values in each column. Okay, what mistake is null dot. Okay, there is a mistake. Okay, divided dot sum divided by dataset. Okay, okay. I have made a mistake here. So now, so this is the percentage of the null values in each column. In gender, there are 2%. In married, there are 0.4%. In dependents, there is 2.4%. So if a column contains the null values more than, you can say, 50%, so we will drop that column because 50% of that column contains null values. So we will not work with that column. In the same way, we will calculate the total null values in our data set. If the null values are more than 50%, then we will not work with our this data set. Okay, control C, control V. Okay, I have not copied that. Control C, control V, dataset dot sum. As we have to calculate the whole values in our dataset, so we have to multiply it with columns as well. So as you can see, 1.86670%, 1.8% you can say that the our values in our dataset are null. So uh, we have to see it in graph heat map dataset dot is null. Okay, and plt. Okay, so this is the graph in which we are seeing the null values present in the number of the rows, and this is the column. So this is the total method how we can find the null values in our data set that we have to use for our machine learning model. So thank you for watching this video.